Talk numbers. The first time a car numbered 10 ever won at Daytona in a Winston Cup race. 1985, Greg Sachs won the July 400 miler.
Oh, trouble!
Off turn 4, Michael Waltrip goes spinning in front of the pack, and here they come.
4 cars spinning, John and Freddie. Kenny Wallace, 9 car. Stacey Compton goes down pit road. Elliott Sadler gets caught up in it. Now they'll race back to the flag. And there, Earnhardt on the outside.
Oh, Earnhardt and Spencer got together.
Spencer, yes. Shot Michael Waltrip spinning around right in front of the whole pack.
Second day in a row.
There comes the 21 car of Elliott Sadler right into Waltrip.
Kenny Wallace was down in the infield grass, and there was a car there he couldn't avoid. And here's another angle.
Coming off of turn 2, where we've said that it's the wind. Somebody got into the back of that car right there.
That's Ward Burton right there.
You saw a puff of tire smoke, and then everything let loose.
I think that's what started. Somebody got in back of Ward Burton off turn 2.
I'm pretty sure the 4 car got into the back of Ward Burton, turned him into the 20 car, and God help all of them because there's no place to go. And you can't see. And here we come off of turn 2 again. Right there. See, Ward Burton got pushed around by that car, and that's the 4 car.
And he got in the back of Tony Stewart. Of course, Tony Stewart going airborne here.
And it was Ward Burton's car being sideways that blocked up the track for everybody behind him.
Boy, and it gets hit by every car in the field, seems like, and Tony Stewart's car just took a whale of a ride.
Gordon and the Kevin Harvick make contact going down in turn 1.
And there we were talking about throwing the block, and that looks like what happened.
And the first 4 or 5 cars get through, and then about the 7th or 8th, I don't know, about wherever the 43 car of Andretti, that was the next car to hit. And after that, there's no place for anyone to go.
That's right, the track just becomes completely blocked.
Robbie Gordon and Jeffrey Bodine down through the grass.
Ryan Newman slipped through there too.
I mean, that's one place that a race car driver does not want.
Trouble off turn 4.
Big trouble.
Newman slams the wall. Down pit road comes Schrader, and Newman is in the air and over. Ryan Newman, last year's Rookie of the Year. The rear end ripped from the car.
Look at that thing lift up, Larry.
Just takes off like an airplane.
That's 3,400 pounds, folks, just lifting up in the air like a feather.
And the right rear wheel digs into the dirt and tears the whole rear end loose from the car.
Yeah, if the tire hadn't come off of the wheel, it probably wouldn't have turned over like that. But once the tire came off, and it dug in and flipped
fast, very fast.
And what's at stake for him here? He's
trouble!
Contact on the backstretch. It's Mike Waltrip and now Brian Vickers. Robbie Gordon, 31. The time. Waltrip's over. 1, 2, 3 times for Michael Waltrip.
Well, there's the big one right there. Took a lot. There's a lot of good cars right there. Is that Sterling Marlin in there?
40 cars in it. That's Michael Waltrip's car, upside down.
And when you're in a situation like that, you are just a passenger, especially when these cars start turning each other. Here you see, looks like Johnny Sauter slid up in the 30 car into Brian Vickers in the 25. A chain reaction.
Yes, that's Michael Tuckins. Yes.
And Biffle, the pole sitter, looks like he barely got through there.
So you see the tire come off of Michael's car. Then
Rusty got through it.
Here we go.
Harvick slides up in front of traffic.
Cars upside down, cars everywhere.
And turn 4 is Calamity Corner once again. Watch the 22 of Scott Wimmer, the yellow car, take a wild ride here.
What started at Greg Biffle came down in the 10, or the 10 went up to Greg Biffle. They got together anyhow.
The luckiest man there was Rusty Wallace. Got a little tap, but kept on going.
Now watch Wimmer. Over once, twice, 3 on his nose, 4, wham.
Huge. I can't tell you what it does to you. You just pray that when you stop that you can remember what happened.
I think Scott
5 car. Let's see. There's Jeff. Oh, wow.
Jeff Green breaks loose through the grass, then up the track.
Kind of a strange crash, really.
Joe Nemechek
almost, I mean, right in the door.
Looked like Schrader did a good job getting around it in the 21.
and left those guys with absolutely no place to go. And we see what happened to the left rear of the 45. The 99 car just knocked off the tire and the quarter panel of the left rear.
Oh, Mark got loose. Mark got loose. And Harvick's getting a run off turn 4. It's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line. No caution. They're side by side, right to the line.
Big crash. Here they come. Checkered flag. Harvick. Kevin Harvick wins the Daytona 500.
We got one car
still,
on his roof coming across the start-finish line.
They're still wrecking. They're wrecking everywhere. Boyer's on fire. Jeff Gordon's wrecked.
And they
Montoya.
are still wrecking.
Montoya, Stremme, Kenseth, Biffle, Marlin from the right in the bottom lane. Clint Bowyer gets slid sideways. Whammo.
And he'll cross the start-finish line unofficially upside down in the 18th position.
On fire. I mean, that's Joey Chitwood couldn't do that. Oh, there they go. Off a two.
Jimmy Johnson goes around Martin Truex. Johnson had been stuck in the middle coming by the start-finish line, what we call the sucker hole, and backing up. And he got turned around coming off turn 2 to bring out the 4th caution flag of this Daytona 500.
That wasn't exactly the storm I thought was going to happen.
Now we got hit. I can't see him. He's behind the wall.
Got Hornish underneath of Jimmy here. Let's see if Hornish gets up into him. Now, you know, Jimmy got loose. I don't think Hornish had anything to do with that. Jimmy just got snapped loose.
Denny Hamlin, 11, he's going to have some damage.
Those cars are cars that had made green flag stops prior to that caution. Boy, Brian Vickers, Dale Earnhardt Jr., that ain't going to work, boys.
Vickers hard. Here we go. Busch, the dominant car of the day, in the wall.
That was wrong.
And 10 cars sliding, slamming into the infield.
Jimmy Johnson, totally uncalled for. Totally.
I don't care who you are. That was just wrong.
Vickers puts the block on him, and then Junior just turns right back into the racetrack, right in the left rear, Brian Vickers.
Saw a similar situation like that yesterday in the nationwide race.
The car is the number 12 of Keselowski, and you see him just get a little loose right there. Gets up into the wall, collects Smith and Hornish.
I believe that 12 car had something happen to it, like it may have lost a right rear tire or something. There's really no reason for it to step out like that.
So Roger Penske had 3 cars in this race, and that gets 2 of them, the 12 and the 77. There you see Gordon just squeaking by that.
Think you could drive a car, folks, at home 200 miles an hour?
Closer together than most people park.
Yeah, 200 miles an hour with somebody pushing.
Trouble, turn 3.
Big wreck.
Brian Keselowski, David Rudiman, Michael Waltrip, Matt Kenseth,
Big
and
wreck.
half the field.
I see about 3 of the Hendrick cars there that's involved.
Mark Martin is there. I see him. There's a Biffle. Jimmy Johnson's laying over there. There's a 24 car. Looks pretty bad.
Brian
to the back of the. Tony Stewart did the same thing to Michael in the Bud shootout. Got into him pretty hard and turned him around right there and got Michael with it.
And Darrell, everybody was going to the apron, but those cars sliding off 31 degrees of banking, that's where they're going to end up.
It's kind of an old saying down here. What goes down must come up. And you try to go around on the outside if you can.
Jimmy Johnson's 48 just barely got into the back of Matt Kenseth to do enough damage to the right front.
The old Aaron Stream machine, she's done.
Marcus Ambrose is going to the garage for repair. Michael Waltrip's car comes steaming toward the garage.
Brian Vickers in the 83 car gets a lot of damage. Marcus Ambrose in the 9.
Look at that. 3 Hendrick cars, 24, 48, and 5, all slamming into each other. I think he slammed into the jet dryer.
They're trying to clear debris off the racetrack, and the car brakes, won't steer, and he slides up the track and into the back of that surplus helicopter jet engine on a trailer used to dry the racetrack.
Mike, I saw sparks coming out from the car as if it had a tire down or something. What an incredible turn of events. I've never in my life. Oh my gosh.
And all that spilled jet fuel found something hot to ignite it. Safety workers quickly on the scene. Johnson first, Kenseth second with a push from Gordon. Oh, Kane! Kane gets around, slides across the track. Dillon misses him. More carnage down toward turn number 1. Montoya, Harvick.
A real low apron.
All with damage as the caution comes out.
Yeah, the 18 just got down on that inside, caught the left rear corner of the 5 car. That's a real vulnerable spot, and gave him a little tap and sent him sailing.
What a close call for Joey Logano in that 22. He was all the way down in the grass and dodged it.
Yeah, these guys on further down the track is going to crash big.
Crash out of turn number 4. A multi-car pileup. Eric Almirola, his car all torn up. That is Michael Waltrip, who will not win his 3rd Daytona 500. David Gilliland's car is crashed. Almirola's gone straight to the garage with his.
Happened because he just abruptly, the 33 abruptly turned to the right and went up the hill. We got our pole sitter involved. Danica.
Austin Dillon, Danica Patrick, Michael Waltrip among those involved. There's Waltrip coming off the outside wall. He collects Justin Allgaier in the 51.
Paul Menard at 27, been fast all night.
Paul just can't catch a break down here this week.
David Gilliland from there on. Car smoking back of the field, drops back out of play, 3 wide. Big cluster coming off turn number 4. Smoke, trouble, way in the back, but here come the leaders.
The question is, are they going to throw the yellow, or are they going to let them race back?
7, 8 car pile up in the back straightaway. Caution is
start off from the back straightaway over here. Let's see what happens.
4 wide. And Austin Dillon tips Jeff Gordon.
Yep.
And it's on.
Right in that spot where it didn't take much.
And as they kept wrecking and more cars kept coming into the crash scene. Wow.
I tell you,
that was DiBenedetto first into the outside wall.
Well, he got a double whammy.
By Buescher.
Anytime you see the rear tires lift up off of a car as it makes impact, you know that's a huge hit.
What I don't like about that is that Buescher hit the wall head on, and then he got hit by DiBenedetto here in the driver's or in the right side, trying to get a double whammy here.
There's Kyle Busch
all by himself.
Boy.
Oh, it just turned. I mean, that has to be a tire. There's no way that car just jumped around like that without something happening to it. I mean, he just lost. That thing just went sideways.
They were working their way through some slower traffic right here. I can't imagine that there was an aero situation there, but
something cut that
it
tire.
Definitely
did
turned
he
around
contact? Did he make contact with that car he was passing?
It's a good question.
Big push coming from Elliott and Keselowski. Contact. Elliott slam into the wall.
Are you kidding me?
Danica Patrick, Casey Kane.
Oh man! Oh man!
You all right? Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, took the wind out of Chase Elliott.
Yeah, that was
Elliott, Kane. Here's Danica.
Last second, from at least from that big hit. Yeah. And you see Keselowski got down on the apron and turned him around.
That's covered.
So it looked like the 9 went to block the 2 because he was going to make a move.
Low. Go hard.
DiBenedetto and everybody.
Good.
Oh no!
Are you kidding me? This is big. Wow. But
Boy, it just reminds me of the Clash. Same type of, gets to his right rear. Oh yeah, that just starts to turn him a little bit.
Got him in the right rear.
And then he collects Menard.
Yeah.
Logano just misses it, but the whole outside lane and half the inside pile up.
And this is exactly what we were just talking about. At this stage in the race, you can start to taste victory in the Daytona 500. You want to see that checkered flag, and you'll do anything to get it, and you know you've got to be more aggressive with those bump drafts.
It looks exactly like the Clash.
It's not over yet. Not at all.
Ryan Newman off turn 4 for the final time. Blaney to the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside.
Wow.
Crash into the wall, into the air. Goes Newman.
Upside down.
In a shower of sparks on his roof, Ryan Newman comes across the line, 4th. And comes to rest. Scoring unofficial. Between
the outside, then the inside, they lock bumpers and turns Ryan Newman around. Upside down he goes. Corey LaJoie coming along, making contact.
Just lifting Newman. Blaney tried the top side, tried to get low. Ryan Newman goes around, and the car goes to its roof, and here's the on-rushing Corey LaJoie picking it up and over. Keselowski with him. McDowell in tow. Dillon on the bottom.
The run's on top.
Whoa!
Teammates.
Around they go in a hard crash. Kyle Busch.
Kyle Larson.
Caution is out.
Bubba Wallace is in this. Austin Cindric. Hard hit by Kyle Busch. Caution's out.
McDowell is first to the line, but will have to go back to the moment of caution, which ends the race. Brad Keselowski is climbing out. He's okay. Secure the victory. The big one on the final lap in the final corner of the Daytona 500. Brad Keselowski gets hard into the wall, trying to win the Daytona 500, and Kyle Busch piles in at over 190 miles an hour. Let's join Vince Welch.
Well, such a vicious.
He went to make the move. He's got so much momentum. There's nothing more that he could do. And I think Joey Logano didn't make an abrupt move. He just tried to slowly slow down that momentum, and they made contact.
And in hindsight, when you look at it now that you've seen the wreck and know what happened, well, he wrecked his teammate. That's not the case. He was going for the biggest race of his career. He hasn't won this Daytona 500.
Let's ride with the
calm down just a little bit back there. Then he said he was just trying to learn for later.
Oh no! Big crash on the back straightaway takes out William Byron, Kyle Busch, and Harrison Burton. Oh crap.
Somebody was upside down. Right hand side. Come off the corner, the car got light exactly like I was talking about. Man, it went over too. I was right. Dang it. A lot of good cars.
Denny Hamlin.
It's a pretty aggressive, pushing, obviously, on a rookie. Tony, you talked about it. Again, come off of that corner, got light, and that thing was long for the ride, but very aggressive pushing.
That is not at all what you're looking for. That kid is sitting there going, what happened? He's lucky it didn't bite right there.
Yep.
And here's Harrison Burton on the radio.
Okay, you can't push to the right, Brad. I mean, Dale. I know. Well, good. You got the help.
Larson tried to go to the middle. Oh, he got turned.
Larson Pastrana in the fence. We are still green. No, the caution is out. And we'll wait for official word on whether Ricky Stenhouse or Joey Logano has won the Daytona 500.
Trouble. Here comes the energy. Bell filled that void, gives him a big shot. Fives gets turned around. Look, right there, he's in front of him.
Oh, Keselowski gets turned by William Byron. Blaney gets caught up. Gilliland, Truex, Hamlin, and more.
All those Fords were struggling to get around Chastain. Who could get around and get that clean air track position first? That's what happened.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. I mean, it's a parking lot down there. Cars parked everywhere.
Blaney.
And you see Alex Bowman up the racetrack, and then they start zigging and zagging here. And
well, obviously, William Byron and Bowman, that's where it ended up. But the movement from the 6 and the 22, jockeying for position, trying to outduel one another to that position of passing Chastain, that's what stacked all those guys up and got them in trouble. Those guys were going for it. Chastain was holding them up. You saw the 6 go to the bottom. You saw the 22 go to the outside. The race was on, and unfortunately those guys behind him.
This gives you a much better view right there. You see the 24 car just being pushed, and sometimes you're not aligned, and you know you're not lifting, and that car gets to moving around, and you hope it works out, and it just didn't work out right here.
We saw this same scenario playing out at the duels the other night when Blaney got in a wreck. You really can't pin it on anybody. It's hard racing, everybody going for it, but when those cars move in front of them, it slows the energy down.
Let's ride with Alex Bowman.
That I think I would want if I was a teammate, with being door to door with my teammate Hamlin and Bell for the front.
He gets Bell into the wall. Off of the front of Custer, and up in the air goes Ryan Preece. And for the second time in his career, he is flipping at Daytona. Good grief.
Off the front bumper, we were talking about a lap before. Custer got to his bumper. That thing went side to side, and he couldn't hold on to it. It was one too many.
Ryan Preece, a couple of years ago here, flipped down the backstretch after getting caught in the grass. There is Christopher.
Point in the race, you have to just put yourself in a position to throw it all out there and hope that this doesn't happen.
Well, and that's exactly what he did. That's why these guys are where they are in the sport and in their life. See, they do not give up, and they go for it.
Preece got all that air under the nose, and you're right, it looked like it was going to just take off straight ahead. And I think he would have settled down had the car not turned and been side to the wind. And that's what sent it tumbling.
Those shots when that car lands right there, I know we're in slow motion right now, but the impact that goes through your back and spine and neck, and especially when you can't see what direction the next hit is coming from to brace yourself. Right as the camera went out, we saw him start to duck his head and just,